Hello and welcome back together to my weekly update on the financial markets. We will cover today the S&P 500 index, US oil, gold and Bitcoin against US dollar. We covered the price on a weekly, daily and 4-hour time frame so that you know what to do in the markets the next days and weeks ahead. I will show you all my trades. Let's start directly in the S&P 500 index on the weekly time frame. Yeah, the weekly on the S&P 500 index here, you can see we had a massive crash to the downside after losing this weekly orange uptrend line, and then a sharp recovery back to the upside, nearly testing the 200 moving average, but we've seen a test of this support zone of the last all-time high back here from January 2022, and since then we're moving up. Now the question is this a V-shaped recovery like we have seen it back in the days with Corona? There we have seen a dip, a big dip below the 200 moving average, or is it a situation like we have seen here in the beginning of 2022 where we have seen a bear market also retesting the 200 moving average before then continuing again higher? At the moment, if I have to guess, you see it on my betting behavior here, I would guess that we will see a bear market and we will at least retest this low combination with the 200 moving average before then finally going back up higher, because conditions have changed geopolitically, and tariffs by the US, and I don't think that this will dissolve in the next couple of weeks completely. So I think there's another way down in the market to come, but I can be wrong with that. Because of this, I have a stop loss also in place that if I'm not correct with my analysis here, I will get stopped out for 0.5% of my account balance. Otherwise, I would hope for a take profit, giving me 3 times my risk here. Yeah, that's the daily time frame. You can see the daily white solid downward line got broken to the upside, and now it seems like we want to retest the 200 moving average on the daily, which often acts as a resistance zone for price. So there could be likely that we'll see a turn and lower prices again for the next move. The MACD indicator also seems it wants to cross the next couple of days to the downside. We will see if that will happen. And if we drop even one time frame lower here to the 4-hour time frame, you can see it only in more detail. MACD indicator at the moment in the upper range also are about to cross to the downside, and also the 4-hour 200 moving average is in decline and near the price at the moment. So nothing new since my last update here, except that we have seen more upside since then. Still in the trade at the moment, slightly in a loss position. Yeah, that's it for the S&P 500 index. It all stays unchanged. Let's switch to US oil. Oil at the weekly time from here, you can see we had the solid monthly downward line. That one got broken to the upside. Since then, we are in a weekly consolidation or a retest. You could argue on the big time frame that this will get an A, B, C correction, maybe even a little bit lower. We will see. We don't know yet. But what we know is that we had here a major weekly support zone for price. That one got broken to the downside and is currently retesting to the upside. That normally speaks for maybe a short-term uptrend and then followed by a more reasonable downtrend. On the daily time frame, you can see this white solid downward line. At the moment, it seems like we built out a double bottom scenario, so that could mean the price first will rise again, back up, before then declining again lower. I maybe will speculate if we see resistance here at the daily downward line with a stop loss maybe above this last high here, and then with a good risk reward ratio of 1.5 to 2.0 to the downside. But I will inform you if that's the case. At the moment, no actions for me, at least in US oil. If you have another opinion on that, drop down in the comments. I will answer them or react to them. Let's go next to gold. Yeah, gold at the weekly time frame, a massive run. It always goes farther than expected. MACD extremely stretched to the upper side. I think we could argue that it's about to turn here, because these two moving average are pretty much a part of each other, so normally speaks for a crossover soon. And we also are very far away from the 10-week moving average here. And for me, that looks like a blow-off move to the upside. If we drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame, you can see that the daily uptrend lines are still all intact. We see higher highs followed by higher lows. This here could form as the first lower high, and if we see a break below this low here, that will confirm that we have seen a lower low also, and that we change from an uptrend to a downtrend, that we will retest maybe this $3,000 area per ounce in gold in this market. I burned my fingers, if you have seen my last video update here, on a short trading gold, because I wasn't expecting such a strong move again. If you drop one time frame lower to the forward time frame, you can see it in full detail. I was waiting for this consolidation to break down. I went into a short position. I placed my stop loss above this consolidation, and yeah, we have seen a breakout of this downtrend, and I got stopped out for 0.5% of my account balance. Here we have a loss about $600. And yeah, the rule is never, or don't try to short or bet against the overall trend. I did it. I earned what I earned it, so to lose this trade, but I can't help myself. If I see something overboard, I sometimes think it's clear I have to short that one. Wasn't a good idea. Probably I will not short this time, because you could argue that we would have a really nice setup here. Stop loss above this high here, and then again target probably the same, would give us a risk reward ratio of 2.5 times our risk. Yeah, but I will probably don't do that, because I lost now, what is it, 3 trades in a row on gold, because I always thought the uptrend is now over and we will turn. I was always wrong. Probably now I don't want to short this anymore, because I don't want to make the same mistake again, and that will be for sure the moment where gold decides to pull back sharply and make a retest on the bigger time frame to the lower side. But then if that's the way, I can't change it. Yeah, so I lost that trade. The most likely scenario for me is that we will see lower prices and no price above the, what is it, $3,400 mark, that we will really see a retest down to this quite solid daily uptrend line. Maybe not that steep or sharp, but I would, if you want to place a take profit area around the $3,000 mark, should be fine. Or you stay out of the market until it gets clearer, and we will again go long if the signs are there after pullback. That's it for gold. I wish I had more concrete actions here, but at the moment I don't. Let's go to Bitcoin against the US dollar. Bitcoin at the weekly time frame, MACD finally crossed to the upside on the weekly, so yeah, late in. If you waited for that sign, you're probably not in at the moment on a long trade. We have on the weekly higher highs followed by higher lows so far, so an intake uptrend, even that if that move looked like it's all over now. Let's drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame. Here you can see that we had the daily downward line, that one got broken to the upside in combination with the MACD divergence to price, which was the sign for me after a break of the consolidation to the upside to get into a long position. I wasn't risking that much, 1% of my account balance if we see a lower low. That wasn't the case. I already moved my stop loss to my entry level here, so the trade is now risk free. I can't lose anything except the fees. We are comfortably above this past resistance, now support zone, so my stop loss is protected by this area, and we are approaching now the all-time high area again. And I think if we reach that one, we will probably even continue further, because that was my first take profit area. That would have been a 2.0 risk reward ratio. Now I exceeded or extended that one to 2.5 risk reward ratio. That would earn me around $2,900 or nearly 2.5 to 3% around that in my account balance. Why I have chosen slightly below 120,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. I can say or show you that. I used my Fibonacci retracement tool here from the low of the movement to the high of the movement. Before then we have seen the correction, and the extension of this Fibonacci retracement would be the 0.272 retracement area. That would be around the $125,000 level. And because I want to play it a little bit conservative, I placed a good portion lower and also below the psychological area of round numbers, so below the $120,000 mark. I will let that one run. If we see a major pullback back to this level of this support area, maybe even in combination with the 200 moving average here, I would think about increasing even my position, but we will then talk about that if that happens. One time frame lower on the 4 time frame. Yeah, I argued here with the MACD divergence, the price. Then we will see a pullback. There was a pullback, but not a big of a deal. We haven't even retested the 200 moving average on the 4 time frame, and also not this support zone area. That would have been also a good point to increase the position. We haven't reached that, so I didn't increase, and price went higher without that. But still in position, happy with that. Account balance looks fine, even if we had the small loss in gold. That's it for the video update, guys and girls. I hope you got some benefits out of it. Till next time, bye bye.